Welcome to the Kicking the Head podcast. And as always, I have an absolutely jam-packed MMA episode for you. Today, we are doing the EFC 122 recap. Ooh, what a fight night. And helping me break it down tonight, I have my guests with me, Aki the Kraken, Joel Smith, and Oche Patrick the Beast. Patrick the Beast, Oche. Gentlemen, how are you tonight? Let me start with you, Aki.
I'm great, man. My team won. So going to the finals. So yeah. But yeah, man.
And how about you, Joel?
Yeah, fantastic. Excited to be back after such a great card.
I think there's a bit of an echo on your side, Joel. If you can just check your settings real quick. Patrick, how are you doing this evening, brother?
I'm exhausted, but yeah, I'll be fine. I'm okay.
Exhausted. I think you'll tell us more about it on the show, right?
I'm not allowed to, so unfortunately.
Okay, but long day for you. I think let's get into EFC 122. Now, EFC 122 happened last week, Thursday, on the 10th of April. For anyone who didn't catch it, you can catch it. You can catch it on playback on EFC Worldwide, and the fights do come out one by one on YouTube. Now, this fight card, I think for me, I was very excited about it because they started giving us the fights way in advance. And I mean, this is in December is when they announced the Morel versus Moyo fight. How did you guys feel when you first saw the card come out for EFC 122? Patrick, let me start with you.
I actually thought they were actually setting Elvis Moyo up for Morel, Anthony Morel to win the fight. But I guess Morel disappointed me and a lot of us, man, because to be a champion and to quit the fight like that, it's really, I'm really heartbroken, really. I was excited, looking forward to more action and stuff, but then I was a bit disappointed.
Okay. Yeah, I guess the main event didn't quite live up to what we had all hoped. But nonetheless, I think if we look at how many KOs there were on the
undercard.
My God. Aki, did you catch that? I hope you caught that.
I didn't catch that.
I think we lost you for a second there, yeah.
My network is always bugging. It's like, oh my God. New service.
You're in a fight yourself.
There's echoes coming from this. Might be on my side.
I'm also hearing
it.
Are we good? Is it me?
Yeah, I think we're good.
Or is it me?
Okay, we lost Joel. There we go.
I'm back.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, cool. Sorry about that, guys. That was my network. My network is always bugging. It keeps on dropping me at the worst possible times. But yeah, I'm back. Okay, I was saying, how did you feel when this card came out? Lots of KOs on the card. How did you feel about EFC 122?
Bro, a lot of upsets. A lot of upsets. When it first came out, man, I was looking forward to seeing Moyo. I was kind of worried, because Moyo rides with Van Damme, and you know how violent those guys get and how rowdy they get. I was kind of afraid that like we might have I don't remember which card it was where like they were throwing chairs and stuff, but like everybody behaved themselves well, even though Van Damme had to calm everybody down. Yeah, man, like it was a great card. Shout out to Jacobs, man. He really delivered with the head kick. So the upsets, bro, like the Thongwe brothers, bro, like that broke my heart. But like, hey, man, it's the nature of the beast. So I kind of didn't like see the undercards, and I saw through the EFC page, it was just it was just KOs after KOs, and I was just like,
Mhm.
ah, you know. But like, yeah, man, I was really impressed by. Shout out to Graham for and the matchmakers for putting this one up. Yeah.
And just to put this up now, Vincent Roberts says Snakebone broke my heart too. Look, when we get to my picks, I have Snakebone as well. As much as I love the chef, but yeah, we'll get into that. I think Joel, a very exciting card we had here, and exciting for you because your brother was fighting on this card as well. How was EFC 122 for you, who had to actually be in the corner of your brother and actually be someone who was very closely tied to this event?
Yeah, it was extremely exciting. I think anytime Calvin can get on the cards, we absolutely love it. He likes to be an active fighter, and when he did get the nod saying that he was going to be on this card against Bojo, that's someone who he was matched up previously, and that fight didn't go through because Calvin had to put out sick. It was great to actually get that, and then when we saw the card order come through and he was the second fight, it was like, what? How are we on the second fight? But then you look at the quality of the rest of the card, and it literally is, it's banger fights after banger fights after banger fights. And that's exactly what UFC 122 did, is it delivered on that. I don't think there was any fights that didn't, I guess, bore us. They all brought the excitement, and yeah, it was a great card. The atmosphere in the arena was electric. I haven't felt an atmosphere like that since, I guess, one of two of the late cards last year. Heavyweight title fights always brings the excitement. Yeah, it was really, really
Heavyweight
cool.
title fights always bring excitement. And let's talk about the heavyweight title fight. The heavyweight title fight between Big Morel and Elvis Moyo. Now, this fight, as you said, we were all excited for this fight. Didn't end as we had hoped. It went, I mean, look, I'll let you guys go into it, but we had the champion, reigning champion, quitting on the stool between rounds because he was gassed. Basically, because he was gassed. I mean, just go out there and take your loss. Like get KO'd, get submitted, something. If you're tired, you're tired. You'll take a shot and you go down. Quitting off the stool and just saying I don't want to continue. Just I don't know. It leaves a very sour taste in the mouth of, well, definitely in my mouth. Aki, how did you feel? And we'll go into the rest of the card, but into the rest of the fight, how did you feel with the end of that fight? How did that make you feel? Achi, you're suffering from the mute curse that I have. Patrick, I'm just keeping you on mute because yours is the one with the feedback.
Oh, okay.
Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, man.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, Moyo was like really like going for it. He was switching on. But like I think the champ, the problem was he couldn't ragdoll Moyo like he has been ragdolling everyone. You like so from his previous fights, and Moyo was just slugging, bro. Moyo was just slugging, waiting to get there. So I think like he just quit on himself. He just quit on himself, and yeah, it's disappointing to see that like a champion could represent himself like that. But hey, man, like for his health, I do understand, but like maybe he didn't want to get a highlight KO'd. But like yeah, I'm happy for Moyo and looking forward to seeing him defend the title.
So am I. I think, Joe, with how this fight went, how were you scoring the fight? Because I rewatched the fight 2 days ago, and Morel was way ahead. He was connecting. He was pretty much winning that fight up until that fourth round. And just when he got tired, and I think there's one takedown he had in that round, and once he took Moyo down and tried to submit him and couldn't submit him, I think that's when he gave up. When he was like, "Look, I don't know what I'm going to be able to do here." How did you see Elvis Moyo's performance in this fight?
Yeah, I thought Elvis came in with a perfect game plan for this fight. He said in the face off that you've got to take me down. That's the only way you're going to do it, and that's what Morel did. Is he did take him down, but Elvis was able to weather the storm and not get TKO'd or submitted on the ground. He found himself in stages where he was able to work back onto his feet, and in those instances where they were trading on the hands, they were landing. But I did feel that Elvis was landing a little bit more regularly with his jab, and it was snapping Morel's head back. And that previous photo that you had on the screen there, that uppercut that Elvis landed, yes, he ate a big right as he was coming in, but that uppercut was significant. Morel almost dropped into the takedown attempt after this uppercut, and he was just bleeding. I don't know if it was coming from his nose or his mouth, but that was a massive shot that he ate. And in that arena, any of those shots that were landing between the two guys, you could hear it. And I mean, those guys are heavy. It just takes one to put you away. And Elvis was starting to find the mark on his punches and starting to time Anthony very, very well. And we could see in the arena, you could see exactly when that dynamic shifted and Elvis started to take over, leading into that round closure. I was sitting next to Calvin and one of our other mates, and we said even before they called it, we said, "Oof, I don't think he comes out." And eventually, Anthony saying no, he doesn't want to come out. Then they started the round and they called it off. There was a very weird interaction there, but you could see how Elvis was just taking over, and I think his excitement and Anthony seeing his excitement and his success in those shots, Anthony had to. Well, he didn't have to. He chose to not come out. It's very tough to do when you have that belt tattooed on your arm. At least he knows he is leaving with a belt, just not the one on his waist.
So before I come to you, Patrick, Ola, welcome. Fight Week Show. How are you doing tonight?
Yeah, man, I'm good, man. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody is doing well. Yeah, very delighted to jump on the show. Just had to rush me from work, but we are here. That's the main thing. We're here.
I think before I come back to you, Ola, Patrick, we have a new champion in Elvis the Bomber Moyo. Based on the performance that obviously Joel just mentioned and you obviously seen the fight, who's next for him? What do you think they need to do next for Elvis Moyo? Because, I mean, that's a hell of a performance at, 41? But, I mean, he's the second 40-year-old champion the EFC has. That's very interesting. So what next for him?
You see, after he won the fight, there was a face-off between him and Triple H. So, and I feel like Triple H is the original champion because he didn't lose the belt. Just got they took the belt from him because of the chaos that happened when they fought for the belt the last time he was there on the octagon, you know. So, and I'm actually looking forward to that fight because those heavy guys, they can't actually go distance, so they rely on their power, and their IQ and stuff like that. So I feel like that fight coming is going to be very, very interesting, a lot more interesting than what we saw now, because I do not think the fight is going to go distance. And I feel like Triple H is going to take the belt from him. That's my opinion. And I don't know if you remember before this fight, I said the only way Elvis Moyo would win is if he could land a power shot on Anthony Morel,
Mm-hmm.
And Anthony Morel could take some of the shot that he landed, but then he gave up only because of one thing, in my opinion, as a fighter. He gave up because of he had it all planned that he was going to finish the fight via submission or TKO. That's why it's not advisable to plan on a knockout or on a TKO or on a submission, because when you don't get what you're actually looking for, it messes with your head and it ruins your whole game plan. But I'm disappointed because as a champion, he was supposed to at least use the ground, just because he was way ahead in the fight card, he should have used the ground to at least, just to buy time, catch his breath, to the referee asked them to get up again, because even Moyo was really tired, he was just trying to survive that like there in the fight. So like, it doesn't make any sense the way he just said, nah, I can't go any further just because of you're tired. And I'm disappointed for a champion like that. Nah, it's not good.
Yeah, I think, Ola, we've spoken at length about this fight and the performances. Where it comes to this heavyweight fight, as a fan, when you see a champion quit on the stool, how does it make you feel?
It's never nice, It's, as an MMA fan, it's not something that you want to see. You want your competitors to go out there and give their role, but there are certain situations or extenuating situations. Maybe it could be injuries, it could be something that we're not privy to. But as our fellow said over here, as a fighter, from your perspective, seeing the way he did, maybe his game plan didn't really go the way he'd like the game plan to go. And we've said this many times about, even one Anthony Smith, yeah, in the UFC, that we reckon it gives that type of performance. There's like that quit in him. There's not the part where you bite down on the gum shield, especially like you said, he was winning on the card, and to just go back to his corner, and not get back off the stool is very, very disappointing. And I don't know, because you can't even blame me on weight cut. You can't blame me on, like I said, unless it's some other reason that we're not privy to. But weight cut is not even going to be there because you guys are fighting at heavyweight, so you ain't even have to do all of that. So for me, it's very, very disappointing. But congratulations to Moyo.
Congratulations to Moyo, the new champ. But coming to the co-main event now, this fight.
Kick him in the head, baby. Kick him in the head.
Oh, Faaez Jacobs versus Sibusiso Soventle. I was really looking forward to this fight. I mean, the weigh-ins, as you can see, that Faaez was focused. He was ready. It was like he had aura. He was on that 10,000 aura level this entire fight week. So I was really looking forward to this fight. And Sibusiso Soventle, he was focused. He was determined, even though the odds were against him. Not by much. He was focused. And one thing I forgot to mention on the last fight, I mean, the odds for Moyo, I mean, whoever put money on Moyo, damn, you made a lot. So underdogs sometimes win, but let's get back to this fight. Faaez Jacobs, Sibusiso Soventle ended by head kick in the first round. Honestly, I didn't even realize it was a head kick until afterwards because you couldn't really see it. But wow, what a win from him. What a way to retain the title. Achi, you watched that fight. You were there that day. How did you feel when you saw Faaez Jacobs claim the title?
I think, man, that head kick just shows how above levels Faaez is, because dude is just from the marketing, from everything, like he just knows how to sell a show. He just knows how to sell a show. And Sibusiso missed weight. So also that plays into the seriousness. How seriously do you take your job as a fighter? So that head kick, man, great highlight reel for Faaez, man. And Faaez just knows how to bring that energy, and he knows how to take time, even with the entrances. He takes his time. He's not itching to get into the ring. He just milks the situation and he owns the stage. Because I felt like him winning the title in the co-main event should have been the main event, because he was the guy. He had that aura in him from the entrance, bro, from the entrance to everything. So Faaez Jacobs, man, big ups.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, big ups to him. He always puts on a show, and yeah, looking forward to seeing. I just want him to be in the UFC right now because he is that good and he brings that wow factor.
Patrick, let me come to you as one of the fighters on this panel. His performance, and like Achi mentioned, Sibusiso missed weight. Faaez's performance. How did you find his performance? How he basically stalked Sibusiso the entire round. How did you find Faaez's performance in this fight?
He did very well, but I'm not surprised because you cannot compare Faaez to Sibusiso. They are not on the same level. Faaez is just way too ahead of him. I don't know if you remember when I said the last time that Faaez is so good at getting into somebody's head. If he can get into your head, then you've already lost the fight. You get my point. So when Sibusiso arrived there at the venue, he normally have this calmness and this smile on his face, but it was a nervous wreck. And I even tried to go and greet him and his coaches. The way I could just see in his face that he already lost. And I'm quite disappointed because he had a good training camp. And he was training with actually good guys. And for the fact that it did not make weight should actually mean that he's gonna struggle less. He was supposed to struggle less because he didn't do a big weight cut. But then Faaez took advantage of the whole situation. It showed the levels. It showed that Substitute doesn't deserve to be in that cage with him, and that's more respect from me to Faaez Jacobs.
All respect to Faaez Jacobs there. Joel, like you said, you were ringside. I'm surprised we don't see you in the background there, but you were ringside for this. That head kick, followed by the very unfortunate spaghetti legs from Spusisu. Look, it is what it is.
Stanky legs.
Oh, it was bad. It was unfortunate. But how much skill did that take to execute there? Because, like I said, he was stalking Spusisu the entire round until he fainted and put in the switch kick. How much skill did he need to pull that off right there at that moment in the fight?
Look, I think this also just goes back to Faaez's preparation. When he was in the face-offs and the weigh-in, after he took his mask off, his sentence was, "The players aren't playing by the rules. I'm coming here to execute. I'm the executioner." That's what his line was, and he went in there with that exact mindset. He didn't go in there to play around and play games. Savenda was dancing around the outside, trying to just keep movement and change the angles the whole time. And every time Faaez was just getting closer and closer and closer, there were a few instances where Faaez fired a couple of body kicks with that lead left foot, which landed on Savenda. And when they did land, we could hear the whole crowd erupting because of the impact of it. And then when it was time to now put it out, he just went up to the head. He'd primed Savenda to defend the body. That's why Savenda's arms dropped. He thought, okay, body kick's coming. I'm gonna drop there, and it just glanced off the top of the dome, breaking his equilibrium, giving him a little bit of a chicken dance. And those follow-up shots, that ground and pound, was like 2-3 sniper shots. Like Faaez was a sniper in that instant. He was coming to execute. He wasn't coming to fight. And he just showed that when he comes in with that intent, he's very, very difficult to deal with, and he's a real problem.
He is the champion. He's looking to go to the UFC, and I think he might just get his wish after a performance like that. Now, Ola, having a look at the picture on the screen, we see back there Conrad Siabi. We see Aniset Kanyeba in white at the back there, the showstopper. We see, I can't remember his first name, Kabwani. He fought a few fights ago with his hands in his head. Watching a fight like this as the coaching team or as a supporter of Spusisu, and I'm sure you were on. Wait, who are you supporting this fight, Ola? Who did you have?
No, I did have Faaez going into this fight.
Oh, okay, so you were chill.
I had troublemaker going into this fight.
But how do you think it feels getting your fighter taken out like that in basically the biggest fight of his life?
It's one of the worst things, especially if it happens in front of your coaches, in front of in front of your corner. Usually, when things like that happens, the guy that's finishing the fight probably would prefer it to happen where his people are. I remember when Faaez was in the corner of Luke Michaels, he did everything to be on that side so he could get information from Faaez, and I saw him actively looking towards that corner, like what do you guys see? What should I do next? He was asking him, but in this case, it didn't quite happen for Spusi like that, and for that to happen in front of his corner, it's got to be devastating. Because look, as Patrick knows, you guys, when you get into the cage in the Hex, you guys are the final product. The people that actually put the work together is your whole team, your whole gym, your coaches, your sparring partners, the people that help you cut weight. All those people are the main people that really put the fight together. You just the final product of what's been done over a period of time to go in there and execute the game plan, execute the nutrition, the physical work that you've put in. You gotta go out there now and not execute it. But if that's happening in front of your people, even you as a fighter in the cage, you gotta be feeling some type of way that God, you're not even thinking about letting yourself down. You're thinking about letting everybody down. That's worked you to the point where you're able to get into the cage and compete. And for that to happen, it's got to be very, very disappointing for the team. But they have to go back to the drawing board and and see what see where they go from there. Maybe at least look for a sensible matchup that can get him back in the win column.
Look, I like how you say needs to go back to the drawing board, because look, you're 100% right. They do need to go back to the drawing board. But I'm going to move swiftly to who else needs to go back to the drawing board is me, because my picks were terrible.
Shout
made a
out
few
Kanye, by the way. Shout out
questionable-
Kanye, man. She whoops your ass.
Look, we should be doing some good predictions from the next card at 1, 2, 3. I'll reach out to you guys. We're looking to run an underdogs competition, like I mentioned before, but it's coming, and then we will
Yeah.
see.
It's
We
got
will
to
see,
happen.
Ola.
It's got to happen.
Hey,
It's
don't
got to
forget
happen.
who's top of the table, bro. Don't forget. But anyways,
Oh, my days. This nonsense. This guy, you lucky bastard. But hey, congratulations.
so where it comes to picks on this card, I'm just gonna run to you guys very quickly. But how did you do on picks? As we can see there on the screen, all the X's are who I went for but lost, and all the greens are who I went for and won. Honestly, my two questionable ones were Kulikani Slongwa. I made the same mistake I made with Tapiwe Katikati. I assumed he's on a 4-5 fight skid. It can't get any worse against someone who just lost in his debut, and I was terribly wrong. He was taken out in the first round by elbows, and he gave up as he always does. That was the big one. And then Jauhelo, look, I didn't realize that Nathaniel Kumana was from the House of Tinkerbell until I had already made my picks. And by then, it was too late to know that if this goes to the ground, that's exactly what happened in that fight. Rebecca Mongi, I thought she would have the aggression. She didn't. And yeah, I already spoke about the Flongwa fight and the main fight. Ola, let me start with you. On picks, how did you do on this card?
A good portion of my predictions coming. Obviously, I did go with Morel. It didn't quite happen. Went with Jacobs, went with Olunga. That he did let me down there. Went with Adrian Sanchez and Kevin Snakes Pistorius. I didn't go with Katakati this time. I did say to you, in one of our discussions that it's gonna take me a minute to go with TK, but he's a really, really nice guy. He's just not having any luck in terms of picking opponents at the minute. So I didn't do too bad. I'd probably say I did fairly average, but yeah, Kanye definitely really do. She did great. And just before I come off this conversation, I do want to shout both of you out for the watch along that you gave us in the UK, because I was working at the time when the actual fight card was going on, and if you went through your lens, I probably would have missed a lot of the fight. So I want to thank you and Kanye for keeping everybody, especially on the international stage, very, very engaged and interested in the fight. You guys did a great job.
Thank you so much. Much appreciated. We will be doing it at all the other EFCs to come. The feedback is really appreciated. You joined us sometime on that live stream, and yeah, definitely added as well. Joel, let me come to you now. In terms of picks, I'm not sure if you talk about picks after the fights, because I know that especially when your brother fights, it's a bit tricky. But how did you do in terms of who you thought was going to win and who won?
So I actually had a parlay on the main card going. So I got the parlay. So my main card picks were all correct. I'm running my picks on PokerBet now, so they only had the main card on. They didn't have the prelims. So main card, got all correct. And then looking at the prelims, there were two fights which I got the wrong way, and it's the two in the prelims that you also got wrong.
Okay. Because those are my underdogs. I was like, look, if I need to pick an underdog, that's the reason. But it is what it is. Pat, Big Pat, how did you do the beast in terms of your picks on this card?
You're me.
Ooh, sorry. No, that one's my bad. Sorry, Pat, can you start again? How did you do with the picks on this card?
I also got 3 wrong. The Moyo Anthony Morel's fight, the females fight, and also Kulekani's fight, because I thought Kulekani was going to pull that off, and then it disappointed me. Because the round one, when he survived round one, because his opponent was known to only last 2 minutes, he was already tired. And all Kulekani needed to do was to keep the fight standing. So in round 2, he went all out. He was doing actually well until he got taken down again, because he doesn't know how to stand up, and that was a big fail on his part, But then the females fight, I saw it coming when the white girl was insisting of taking the fight to the ground, because that was really annoying the black girl. And then that was a good game plan from her though. And then she didn't have that patience and that aggressive that she normally do when she fought the last times, you know. So the game plan for the other girl really worked out really well. So I don't want to lie.
Yeah, honestly, that was very impressive. And I had a chat with Kaylee Niedermeyer right after her fight. So if anyone wants to watch that, it's on the live watch along. But I told her I thought Rebecca was going to beat you because of the aggression. And she's like, what? Have you seen where I fought? Because she's fought out in North America at Fury FC. So clearly the skills came through. She was focused. Absolutely loved it. Aki, how did you do on picks?
Man, I did horribly. First I got the main event right. I went for Moyo, but like I thought the Faaez Jacobs fight was gonna go the other way because like I took into consideration the weight difference, because I thought like since Faiz made the weight cut, he was gonna be more drained, and Busiso was gonna be like more hydrated, So I thought he would have that power, but like I guess like him missing the weight really messed with his head. And shout out to Bembe, man, the parlay buster. He really pulled up. He really pulled up. He really pulled up because I thought like he was gonna bust up another parlay. But yeah, man, the strong
Yeah,
way,
but
man.
Bembe lost.
He lost.
Yeah, he
Bembe
lost
lost, dude.
the decision.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh yeah, my bad.
Yeah,
See, so
he did bust
yeah,
parlay.
that was fight of the night.
Not
Yeah,
my
he
parlay.
did lose.
yeah,
Not my parlay.
Not mine.
I didn't have him.
yeah, man, yeah. So like, shout out to
You might want to
that
check that
Bembe.
parlay list slip again, bro. You might have won something.
Yo, yeah. Because like, yeah, man, the Strongway brothers, man, like, I don't know what's happening with them. I don't know what's happening because they ever since like I think the other lost to Team CIT's fighter. Ever since then, like they've just been like it's just been a downward skid, and it breaks my heart to see them both losing in the same card because it's like, what now? What now? So, but like, hopefully they can come back and they could just like build their way up from there. But like, I feel like their careers have been and gone, and like the best moments are kind of behind them. But like, yeah, let's see what happens from now on. But like, yeah, I did
And
horribly. Let me say that.
you do not want to reveal how horrible, but the one thing is, I didn't think both Longwa brothers would lose on the same card, and that's why it's like, you know what? Okay, I'm not gonna go for Kulikani, cool, but I did go for Kulikani. What was I thinking? I went for both Longwa brothers. Oh my god. Anyways,
Yeah, man.
Hey, they still love you, yeah. They still love you, man. Don't worry.
well, shout out to them, but also shout out to all the fighters on the card of EFC 122 who got a performance bonus. Now, these are all the fighters who got a performance bonus. I'm going to start with Faaez Jacobs because, I mean, what a performance. Kick him in the head. He got it. I mean, I'm going to be making memes of that for a minute simply because, I mean, you don't get...
You got to update your intro. You got to update your intro.
Thank you, Joel. I think I definitely have that, which the intro should be updated with. Ooh, I went Shakespearean. But yeah, Faaez Jacobs got a performance bonus. Kaylee Niedermeyer got a performance bonus for neutralizing all the weapons of Rebecca Mongi. I'll come to him last. Siya Nombeve got a performance bonus for beating someone who won twice in Brave and has a viral spinning back fist KO. Ken Pretorius, I think he was on debut, performance bonus. Tico Vandenberg coming back to beat Kulkan Klongwa, and Timnan Mhlauli with a stellar performance, which, to be honest, I mean, there was nothing else he could have put together against Becky Noble. Now, of all these performances, let me start with you, Patrick. Which was your favorite performance from these performances that made performance of the night? Oh, what am I saying? I left out Sanchez, Adrian Sanchez.
Yeah, you did. I was waiting.
And actually, the reason I waited was because his KO was insane. Look, if you've never watched Rayo fight, go and watch all his fights. Something always happens. His fights are always exciting. One of the most exciting fighters right now in the EFC, and a great friend of the Fight Week show. So let me come to you first, Ola. Tell me about this KO from Adrian Sanchez.
Yeah, I was so impressed with it. We know how how Adrian goes into fights. Kill or be killed. There's always, like you said, something's always going to happen. If he's not getting knocked out, he's knocking somebody the fuck out, and that's how it goes in there and operates. And that KO, in itself, I thought the ref robbed him of a walk of KO because that brother was out. And Adrian was about to walk off, but the ref didn't go there, so he had to go back there and really put the finishing touches to it. But really and truly, that should have been a walk of KO. It was really, really impressive. In the way he set it up and delivered it. Very, very patient. In the way that he fought as well. And that's the one thing you usually learn from your losses. And when they, as fighters, like Patrick will probably vouch for, you don't really lose, you learn. A lot of the fighters that evolve, they learn a lot through their losses, and that's one of the things that we've seen from Adrian Sanchez in his last couple of fights since he had that knockout loss. So congrats to him, and he moved gyms as well. So that's also showing something, another wrinkle in the way that he's presenting himself when he's fighting, and you can see it's there for everyone to see. I like what he's doing, and long may he continue.
Long may he continue. Actually, let me come to you. Performances that you felt deserved this bonus for you. Which one stood out?
Yeah, man. I just want to say, like, Faaez, man, because, like, it takes a really special talent to block out the main event. It really takes a special talent to block out the main event, because I personally felt like Faaez was the main event, and like I was already exhausted by the time Moyo came, because I was screaming and shouting for him, because I feel like Faaez was the guy, and he drowned out the energy. He drowned out the energy. So it takes a really special talent to do that. So Faaez, that's my guy, man.
You're right, because Faaez does have that star quality about him as well.
Yeah.
The way he the way the crowd just draws to him when he walks in and when he's performing. You're absolutely right.
Now, Joe, I have two questions for you.
Yeah.
Did you take Moyo in the main event? Because that's a question in the chat. And the question was also, how did you come to that prediction? And we want to hear your opinion on the performance of the night. So just tell us those two things.
So late last year, there was a heavyweight fight between, I think it was Jeremy and Terence Bourne.
Yes.
And Elvis was actually commenting afterwards. They did an interview with him afterwards, and he said that these heavyweights come in with fitness that is not ready to be in a fight. And if anyone gets matched up with him, they best be fit, because he's not playing. He's going to come in fit and ready. So there was that conversation which I had in the back of my mind. And then I also, with Calvin fighting, I had the privilege of being at the weigh-ins. And at the weigh-ins, Elvis was just feeling the moment. He was there. He was smiling. He was happy. And he was telling Anthony, your time has come. And then Anthony also had a hiccup at the airport, where his coach ended up being stuck at the airport for a couple of hours, which would have been a distraction from the preparations. So taking all of that into consideration, I had Elvis as the pick. Oh, and one other thing, I saw Elvis was training with Dino Bagatini leading up to the fight as well. I mean, if he's training with Dino, he's going to bring fireworks. So all of that coming together, I had no choice but to pick Elvis. And the other thing was Anthony actually lost his last fight. He had a fight, I think, at the beginning of February, and he lost that fight as well. So the momentum, in my opinion, was all going Elvis's way. And that's why I chose Elvis. So there was a little bit of thought behind the madness there. And then coming back to the second question of these 7 performances of the night, I mean, Faaez and Sanchez, they basically walk-off knockouts. You have to take those into account. But Timna Crowley, the Kingslayer, he's been so dominant in all of his performances at the UFC. He is someone that you have to watch out for. And he said, off with the King's Head, I would love to see that matchup. I think that's something that the UFC will have to do if Faaez doesn't go straight to King's.
And that'll be an absolutely tantalizing fight. Absolutely tantalizing. Like, I can't wait to see it, honestly, if it happens. It's one of those fights where you can say, look, this young upstart actually has something that might give the champion a challenge here. Otherwise, they'll have to go overseas. But the Beast, for you, which performance stood out on this fight night? We're fighting with the mute button. No, go
Okay.
for it. You unmute. You can unmute on your side, Pat.
Okay.
There you go.
I would say Team last fight and Sanchez as well. Sanchez did so well, man. Because when I saw him before the fight, and he looks really hyped and ready, you know. And I said to him, "Hey, champ, you look great, eh? I'm sure you're gonna kill your opponent." He was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do just that." And that knockout, jeez, like, you know that
It
it
was
reminded me of
fantastic.
my knockout as well. You know, my workout knockout, dropped across, guy was down, couldn't get up anymore. You know, so that was beautiful. It was really really beautiful for me to watch. You know, and Tim Lee on the other hand, even though is a whole lot better than his opponent, but you could see the opponent came in there to actually give him a run for his money and try to get him the leg lock, but he was able to be calm and he got out of it and then it fought the way he did. I was really proud of him as well.
Yeah, that was definitely also a great performance from him on the night. Um, now that was the performances of the night. Let's go to the fight of the night. Let's quickly talk about the fight of the night because that for me was another one that I would say was slightly exciting. The one that the EFC says in the fight of the night, then you guys can give me your fight of the night. I think you mentioned earlier, Joel, that it was this fight, Bembe versus Chitamba. And yes, this was a great fight. Went all the way to decision. But as you can see there, Asi Chitamba had his foot all over Vince Bembe's face. And you know how I love kicking with the head. And he has a head kick knockout against Billy the Kid Oosthuizen as well. Absolutely phenomenal front kick. Literally mirroring the Chandler versus Ferguson front kick. Let's quickly chat about this fight of the night and then give me your fights of the night. I think, Joel, tell me about this fight. How did you feel? How did this fight make you feel? Because they went all the way and we know what Bam Bam brings. Because I call him Vitz Bam Bam Bembe or Vitz Blitz Bembe because he always blitz. We know the Bembe Blitz. You know that one? How's this fight for you?
Yeah, this fight was very entertaining. There's a lot of back and forth. Both fighters were finding success on the feet. Bembe comes with that slightly off timing stance, which seems to give his opponents trouble. But I think what got this fight for Chitamba on the judges' scorecards was how decisive he came out in the beginning of that third round. He came out with that front kick straight down the middle, and he started to make use of his range very very well. I thought it was a great fight, going back and forth. The crowd didn't know which way it was going to go. It was absolutely fantastic.
It was a fantastic fight. I really enjoyed that fight as well. Ola, let me come to you. This fight. Oh, sorry. Wait, Joe. Wait. What was your fight of the night? Was this your fight of the night?
Geez, my fight of the night. I want to say it's Faaez, eh? Honestly, I know not a lot happened in the Faaez fight, but the way that he was able to just execute, or literally execute severely, it was beautiful. So decisive, just stamping his name on the MMA scene. I mean, if the UFC aren't looking at him right now, I don't know why they wouldn't be. He really deserves to get there after performance like that.
Patrick disagrees.
Let's go to Patrick first.
Yeah, I'm interested in I want to know what Patrick disagrees. Patrick disagrees. Let's hear him.
Oh, the mute button. Go for it.
Okay. I do agree with the EFC fight of the night, Bembe and the other guy, because I actually told my coach, Dwayne, before the fight that this is going to be the fight of the night, and he disagreed. He said no. I'm like, okay, we shall see about that, because when you look at Bembe is a guy that got cardio, and Bembe brings the fight, right? And the guy he fought against is good. He's a good stand-up fight. And the same at Billy Van Roy, whereby they've been also working on the ground, So they're not the very best on the ground, but they got good stand-up to back it up. You get what I'm saying? So I was actually expecting more fire from this fight, and they gave me what I was actually looking for. The only boring part that I found in this fight was only when decided Bembe tried to take the fight to the ground, and they started hugging each other. You could hear in the crowd there, they were saying, "No homo, guys," because we actually wanted to see that firework from both guys, because both guys, they are good, very good on their feet. Bembe knocked out Sanchez the other day, which was a very crazy a knockout, and then his opponent as well, he knocked out Billy also. So I was really expecting to see the fight go like stand up, the whole time. But regardless, the fight was really nice. And Joe, sorry, I do not agree with you about Faaez being the fight of the night, because it was a one-way. The fight of the night, both parties needs to bring the heat. You know what I'm saying? So Faaez's fight was just too easy for him. You get my point. So that I would disagree.
So that's where the disagreement comes from.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Akhi, let me come to you next. Your fight of the night.
Yeah, man, I would say like I said, they had me confused for a bit, That's why I said like Vincent, the parlay buster Bembe, kind of like brought it this time, He brought it this time, and I was really shout out to the other guy, because he kept on like trying to like, I think, replicate, like, I think maybe not replicate, but like uh you tried to like do the front kick again, but like it just didn't land. So I think it kind of like proved that he was like a bit of like one dimensional, because like you can't keep on spamming one kick all the time,
If
show
it's
us
to the head, I'm
something
happy.
else. Yeah, no, yeah, it's to the head, but like, come on, bro, like just show us something else. Maybe like a spinning back kick or something. You can't just like, when the round starts, just try to kick somebody in the head, because like we know you for that. Like we're always going to be looking for it. We're always going to be looking for that. So I was really impressed with Bembe, his performance. Like I said, so I totally agree with the fight of the night. Yeah, man, I just would have liked to see maybe a knockout from them, but like, yeah, it is what it is. We will take a decision.
We'll take a decision. Ola, now you watched this entire card. How was this card for you? The fight of the night. This fight. Tell me about Vince Bembe, and then give me your fight of the night.
I mean, this fight was really, really impressive, and I completely 100% agree with Patrick. When you look at considerations for the fight of the night, for me, both fighters would have to nearly leave everything in the cage. At least it has to go back and forth. Both of them have to put each other through adversity, and this fight had that, and going the distance, split decision. That tells you even the judges was looking at it for Bembe. One judge at least thought Bembe won. So, on the basis of the actual fight itself, phenomenal fight. It's what you want to say as fight fans, where both fighters leave everything in the cage, and you really feel satisfied as a fight fan. It doesn't even matter what the level of the fighters are, but you could just see both of them, they left everything in there, and I love that about this very fight here. And I completely agree that this is a fight of the night, but in the interest of picking something else aside from this fight that busted the coupon for our friend Kraken over here, I'll be going with the boy Kevin Snakes, because he went through adversity as well. When Bosco put him on the mat, I thought, boy, is he going to be able to get out of this situation? It looked rough for him there, but he got back up, found a way to reset, and eventually found the finish. So I was really, really impressed from him, because it's been on a near enough 2-year layoff from when I last spoke to him, and he had some injury issues that he was taking care of, and it looks like the old guy is coming back, and maybe with a bit more activity, we'll be able to see a bit more of what Kevin Pretorius is able to give the fans. But so far, the return is good, and like I said, in the interest of choosing something else, I'll pick him, because he eventually won, but went through a little adversity with Bosco.
Yeah, I think on the Bembe fight, I don't have much more to say. I agree with you guys 100%. They both brought it. I agree as to the EFC giving it to them. But my fight of the night, kick him in the head. I can't go any other way. Otherwise, I have to change the name of the show. So, Faaez Jacobs, just the precision, the build-up, understanding.
You already got performance of the night, man. You're going to give him performance of the night and give fight of the night, bro?
I don't have to tell you, fam. It is what it is. When you're that great, when you do it that well, that's what you get. That's what it is.
Hey, listen, I just did the same thing with Kevin. I just pull in your legs.
With that said, I think I do have one more to give him. I'm not yet quite done with him for tonight because we are now going to talk about the finish of the night at EFC. Ooh, 1-2-2, not 1-2-1. Get out of there. And yes, for me, it had to go up there. The finish of the night has to be Faaez Jacobs' head kick win over Sibusiso Suvendle. So yes, Faaez Jacobs is all over this show. He is top to bottom this show. And we're going to have a quick look at this head kick in slow-mo. There it is. And there's the spaghetti legs. Oh, it was bad. It was bad. It is what it is. Have you lost all? Oh, you're still there. So this was the head kick from Faaez Jacobs. For me, the finish of the night on the main card, to be specific. We're going to do the prelims as well. On the main card. What was your guys' finish of the night and on the main card? And how did you feel about this? I mean, we talked about it at length, but I just add a little bit more because it is a head kick, you just have to put just enough.
I mean, you're getting greedy now, bro. You're getting greedy now, bro. But that finish is beautiful, man. That finish is, it don't get better than that. And like you guys have mentioned, multiple times, the follow-up was so precise.
Oh,
the follow-up was so precise. It was right on the money. There's no way it was getting up, and I wish the ref got there so he didn't have to take the other two that he took. But yeah, fantastic finish from Faaez Jacobs, and deserves to be to get performance of the night bonus and Yao's fight of the night. I really think it does. Fantastic finish.
Yeah,
And
I just want to say.
Jujo?
Oh, sorry, I'm jumping in before you even asked me.
Nah, go for it.
I just want to say on this finish, like a lot of people say, hey, it's head kick, it's lucky, it's a lucky finish. I disagree completely. If you see in that slow-mo, as soon as that switch kick stance comes in from Faaez, Suvendle starts blocking the body, and that's because Faaez had landed a couple of body kicks earlier on in that fight, in that same motion. So Faaez was just setting him up, and as soon as he knew he had him set up, put it on top, he glanced it off the top of the dome. That brain is rattling inside of him. That's a lot of damage which is going through there, which is why Suvendle can't find his feet underneath there. And then that right hand that lands as well. Faaez, it was exceptional.
Yeah, it was absolutely exceptional.
Oh, and then just a side note before you go on to the next guy. Faaez was showing head kick defense today in training.
Oh.
Talking about low key shade.
A lot of fun.
Was this your finish of the night on the main card?
Yeah, it has to be 100%.
Achi, let me come to you.
yeah, man. Personally, I thought like for the Faaez, that was my KO of the night, But like, I kind of thought like Spusiso had fell, because when I saw it first, then I saw the follow up, because like the follow up was so precise. I felt like Spusiso was knocked out by the follow ups, because But then I saw it on the screen again, and I was like, bro, that's. I think who kicked somebody like that, like in the UFC. I don't remember who it was specifically, but
Makhachev Volkanovski.
Yes, it's the exact same Volkanov. Yeah, the Volkanov, because you don't realize it. You don't realize it until you see. Because I didn't see Spusiso's legs, because I thought Spusiso had tripped or something. Then I saw the follow up. Then I was like, oh, it's the follow up. But then no, like this head kick was like, bah. And so yeah, man, big shout out to Faaez. He's such a talent, and I'm grateful to have witnessed him. If he's leaving,
Pat.
Oh yeah, can I
How
just say
about
something? Oh yeah, Cameron Simon is fighting this weekend. Tell him to unblock me, bro. Otherwise, he's gonna lose again. He's gonna lose again. I still got that juju on him.
We'll get that message to him, man.
Wait, where did he block you?
Instagram, bro. Like all accounts. I'm like, dog, what do you mean? But like, I'm like,
bro,
what did you do? Tell us what
I
you
mean,
did.
I did nothing. I did nothing.
bro, I was surprised the FC even let you into the building, bro. I was saying to y'all, I'm like, oh, Aggie's in the building, they let him in. Shout out to the EFC for that one. The Aggie's winning, man. You know what I mean? I was surprised they let me in, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Crazy stuff.
It's tough to kick out your biggest fan. Patrick, how about you? Finish of the night. Oh,
Finish was really great. But I'm still gonna stick to Sanchez knockout because the way
no,
he
on the
pulled it
main
off.
card, that was the prelims.
Okay, now in the main card, yeah, I'll go with Faaez Jacobs because that was a beautiful head kick, and because you can see Sibisota was trying to catch, to scoop or catch the leg, which I always tell people, you need to perfect that at training. Like you need to get comfortable with scooping or catching the leg before you can do it in a fight. Because that's why most of those pro guys get knocked out in a fight because they're trying to do things that they're not good at, you know? So I'll go with Faiz Jacob. He did so well with that finish. It was really nice.
But I think you have preempted us on the next one, which is the prelims KO of the night. And I have Adrian Rio Sanchez on the prelims for this crazy knockout of Robson Boy. Now, just shout out to Rob, who was stretched out to the hospital after this KO. So I hope he's okay. Godspeed to him. Let's hope that everything's okay. But he did leave on a stretcher after this KO because it was vicious. Now, let me start with you, Patrick. Prelims. You were just saying it. This was your KO of the night. Tell us more about this one.
Other Mike.
Sorry, we keep. Okay, go for it.
Okay. The reason why I chose the Sanchez KO is if you look closely, before he got that KO, he did the same punch. He caught him with the same punch that stuns him a bit. Then he was able to recover a little bit. Then shortly later again, he caught him with the same shot again. And then Robert went down and Chantes walked towards him and looked at him. The referee wasn't stopping him, you know. When he had to land those other shots as well. The what I love about it is when his celebration is what I love the most. He just went the other way, sat down, crossed his legs, like a real, sorry about my language, like a real boss, you know, crossed his legs and just looked at him. That was cool for me, man. Really. That was awesome.
Now, this was an absolutely crazy KO. Oh no, I've lost Patrick. Where's he gone? There we go. A crazy KO. It was definitely. I was. Ola, this is your boy, Adrian Sanchez. We recently had him on the Dust Up Shakedown the Fight Week show. To everyone listening, it is every Wednesday or Thursday, depending on if Arsenal's playing. Do catch it. All things
Arsenal
MMA.
got
So
Real
tell me
Madrid
about this.
tomorrow. Arsenal got Real Madrid tomorrow, so it's going to be on Thursday. And Adrian Sanchez is going to be pulling up on the show on Thursday to tell us all about it. So, but for me, it's just his mindset with the way he's operating in this moment in time. And when one of the fighters will always tell you one of your biggest weapon is your mind. You know what I mean? Your mind is even before your heart, because if you don't have that mindset, the heart don't even get there, right? For the heart to keep you in fights. But the mindset that Adrian is operating in right now is right up there. He's as good as I've ever seen him. And I've seen him with big getting there with some of the baddest fighters that EFC's had to offer. One of them, another good friend of my show, in Mark Ewen, when he was still fighting, on the EFC, on the EFC promo. Yeah, he's fighting under the PFL promotion right now. Shout out to him. He's got a fight coming up. But with Adrian Sanchez, the way he's going right now, the new gym, shout out Yokai, they're doing fantastic work over there. It feels like, because he's found this new calling about being a coach, and he sees fighting in a different way. And I think he's fighting like that now, because some of the things that he'll teach people not to do is having to now come in there and strategically think about, how do I move here? How do I move there? His movement, everything is well thought of in the way that, and like Patrick was saying there, he set up that just to test the waters and see if he's there again. and then he went back in. You know, this is all fight IQ that you can see in fights, and I love fighters with fight IQ. You know, because it always gives you get that extra advantage from just knowing what to do, when to do it, and when to pull the trigger. And right there, that's all those combination, all those ingredients gave us that fantastic. What should have been a walk of KO in my eyes, because you saw how long he stood over him, and the ref still wasn't there, and he had to deliver the combo just just to get the ref to get him off of him. Yeah, fantastic. Every time you see it, it's beautiful. But like I said, yeah, that should have been a walk off. KO of the prelim card for me. KO of the prelim card.
Kraken, how about you?
Bro, that was like a Masvidal like KO, you know, like a super necessary type of KO. That's like, imagine having somebody look at you like from up there, and you're like, don't hit me, and dude is like, bah bah, and he's like, you're out, you know, like bye bye
Until the ref stops it.
Yeah, that's a deadly KO. You know, it was super necessary. You know, like protect yourself at all times. They gave him a shot. You know, they gave him a shot. So, yeah, unfortunately, he had to take those 2 punches, and those were savage punches, man. Like those were savage punches. Yeah, like beautiful KO from Adrian Sanchez. Looking forward to seeing him again in the UFC.
Joe, I'm now assuming you're gonna buck the trend on the finish of the night.
Yeah, man. You know, Adrian Sanchez. It's also that knockout also reminds me of that John Silver knockout, which happened recently as well before the Bryce Mitchell fight. It's cold. That's a moment that he's going to look back forever and show his kids one day and say, "Hey, check, this is your dad. Look what I was able to achieve." Like, it's cold. Insane finish. And if I'm looking at knockouts on the prelim card, obviously we've got
any finish. Any finish.
Any finish. Look, none are as
you have to say
Calvin.
You have to say Calvin.
I have to say Calvin. I have to say Calvin right here. Yeah. Calvin got the choke, but the choke versus a knockout like this, I can't say Calvin. I want to say Calvin, but I can't. It has to go to Rayo. And something that Ola touched on is that gym change. Ever since Rayo moved gyms, you can see that he's operating on another level. It's almost like a Rayo Sanchez 2.0. And the move to, I think it's Yokai in Paul, under Pritchard, it's huge. You can see the confidence level, you can see the physique change, you can see all of that coming in. And Sanchez, I love him on the mic afterwards. So whenever he fights, I just want him to win, so we can hear that.
He caught the best promo of the night, by the way.
100%.
For all we know, the UFC is going to call him. Mm-hmm. It's Sanchez for you as well.
Yeah.
Fantastic, gentlemen. We are almost at the end. We have one more thing to look at, which is the upcoming fights. Not much has been announced. There are a few fights announced for 1, 2, 4, but the one I want to focus on is the one we spoke about earlier, which is the heavyweight title fight between Elvis the Bomber Moyo and Triple H Chikasa. Oh, and I love watching Triple H fight. He's just got this very interesting flow motion, switches stances, little oblique kicks. He's really enjoyable. He won the Titan Bare Knuckle Heavyweight Championship and then relinquished the EFC Heavyweight Championship, like you said, Aki, earlier, because of some issues between him and Elvis Moyo and Van Damme. And now here we are. We get to see this fight. Kraken, I'll come to you last. Ola, let me start with you. How are you feeling about this title fight coming?
Oh, bro, I am absolutely buzzing. When you said on the watch along that, this crazy stuff is going on in the cage, and Triple H was present in the arena. I was so happy because when I spoke to Triple H, he did mention one thing, and this was the last fight. This was after the win against Van Damme, and he said, the only fight I want in the AFC, no matter where I am, the only fight. He said this one's personal. I don't care about even the title or anything. The only fight I want is this guy, and I got the clip for you. I'll send it to you so you can use it. But he said the only fight he wants is this fight, and I think he's about to do some bad things to this brother, man, because he's got bad intentions with this one. He's got real bad intentions for this fight here. But I'm looking forward to it. I hope they put it together. I hope injuries don't happen. I hope nobody pulls out. I think they should give the fans what the fans want to see. And I, as an EFC fan, and I'm sure with you guys as well, we all want to see this fight. Put it together, EFC. Let's go.
Patrick, I see you nodding your head fiercely. Tell me more. Tell us more.
The thing is, Triple H, I just love him, man. Like, I love him a lot. And I got an opportunity to train with him. Despite the size difference, he's hard. He's very strong, and knowing that he doesn't like Elvis Moyo and Van Damme at all. Like, he doesn't like them. He doesn't want us. They cannot be in the same place without chaos. So, and it's like he has been wanting to fight one of these two. So when Moyo won the fight, when I spoke to him, it's like, now I'm happy. I'm like, it's easy money for you, man. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna kill him. I'll pick up his head. And I'm like, yeah, I'm looking forward to it because, I love watching him fight, man, really. Triple H, I give me goosebumps when I see him fight, really.
Nah, look, I completely agree. Yeah, there's something very poetic about how he fights. Joel, how are you feeling about this title fight?
Yeah, this title fight is extremely exciting. So Triple H was actually sitting right in front of me when Elvis and Anthony were fighting, and he was just calm. He was just waiting the whole time. And as soon as Elvis won, you could see he was extremely happy. He walked straight over to Graham and to get in the cage straight away. Graham said, "No, we're going to hold this for the press conference afterwards." And with a backstories make fights. And we have the story of Triple H getting into it with Elvis over the cage, having to relinquish his title because of that. And I'm so excited for it. I think you can see even in that photo, there's a massive size difference there. Triple H is fit. He doesn't come in fat, and he comes in with great movement, great facial awareness. He's extremely technical. The way he was able to put Van Damme out was absolutely amazing. And to think that he's going to be coming in with a little bit more venom and more intention to actually cause damage and hurt rather than just get the win, I think we're going to be treated with a phenomenal fight.
Kraken, talk to us.
We need riot gear for this fight, bro. Like, we need like McGregor versus Khabib security level. We need that. We need riot guard to pull out all the stops. Okay, because like I know for a fact this fight will not end civilly. There is no way, man. There is no way. Triple H is just so, like you said, he's just has that flow. Triple H is like kind of a Tom Aspinall. He moves like Tom. He moves like Tom. He's with the oblique kicks. He's like a perfect heavyweight. He can kick. He can throw a punch. So, and Elvis, obviously, he's just like a bomber. Like, because I saw one of his training videos where he was hitting the bag, and dude, for a guy that big, he has such speed. So this is a cracker, but like, please, we need riot gear for this fight. To watch this fight, we need riot gear. But like, yeah, man, like, shout out to EFC for giving us stories like these where we know and we want to be invested, because these are feuds, man. This is the chaos that makes sports, because like I remember when EFC posted the Van Damme versus Triple H incident, like, that thing just shot up in views, man. That thing just shot up in views, and this is what the sport needs. Yes, I know everybody says we're supposed to be respectful, but we know what sells tickets. Come on, we know what sells tickets.
100%. You're mute, yo. You done it again.
Oh, he's muted himself now.
He had to do what
No.
that thing had to catch you out, man. I'm glad you caught you out, bro. I'm glad you got caught sleeping, bro.
If we could get a clip of every single time I muted myself by mistake and just started talking, it's just. But anyways,
Bro.
be that as it may. Thank you guys
You're
so
on
much
loose
for
again.
joining me tonight. Yeah, no, stop it, Joel. Thank you guys for joining me tonight to chat about EFC 122. Starting with you, Achi, where can people find you on the socials?
Hey man, they gonna find me on wait. Elite Slap Sports. It's right here. It's right here. Yeah. Elite Slap Sports, man. You can find me there. You can find me on Achi the Kraken on Instagram. You know me, always head kick podcast. We kicking man in the head. Like Faaez Jacobs style. We kicking them in the head.
Patrick, how about you?
On all my platforms, Instagram, TikTok, and all that Facebook page. You can check me out there or check the page Patrick. And stay tuned, guys, because soon I got a very big announcement coming up. I'm very excited. And before the end of the month, you guys should know what's up for the day.
Yeah, man.
Ooh,
Forward to
when you're
that, man.
ready for
Looking
that,
forward to that.
definitely holler at us. We will definitely chat to you when you've got that information. Joel, where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at joelsmith_, and then you can check us out at strikesandstrangles.com or on YouTube at Strikes and Strangles.
Ola, how about you? Fight Week Show.
Yeah, man. Fight Week Show. You can find us on YouTube.
Oh,
How you do that
Sorry.
to me, bro? Come
that's
on, bro.
my
What that
bad.
do to
No,
you,
I-
man?
Didn't
What
like
that, you
what
did
you
that?
were
You did
saying.
that on
No,
purpose,
that-
man. I'm fucking with you. I'm fucking with you. I'm fucking with you. Yeah, man. Yeah. You can find us on YouTube. We're on Spotify. We're on Instagram, Twitter. Yeah, we do some fantastic work with a lot of MMA minded people, and yeah, just pull up, check out what we do. We do contents Tuesdays, Wednesday, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays for watch-alongs. With any one of our guys, we're always doing something. S-Dogs MMA, making the walk. We got crossover MMA normally. The Rambling Dad, kick him in the head. We do fantastic work with all these guys. At any point, one of these guys is always dropping content. So go check them out as well. And thanks for the invites. And nice talking to you guys once again, man. I always love chatting to you guys, man. 100%. Big love. Why?
Now,
What's
everyone
he had to.
that Ola
He had,
just-
you know, he
Of
had
course,
to.
Of course.
He had to. He had to.
It's necessary.
What is this?
You just
You
mentioned
cut me
all
off
of them.
the
So
screen. You cut me off the screen, and then you do this, bro. Like you violating me, bro. Like, come on, what's this?
look,
Yeah.
look, you've just mentioned everyone. So this is to make sure that they know who to follow. Just like you guys are following me at the top of the table. So just follow, bro. Listen, this is the Underdogs competition we are running on the UFC. Every Friday, you can find us giving our prediction. Not this Friday because there is no fight week this Saturday. The competition is going strong, and I am on top of the table. It's been tough. I was 9 points ahead. Now I'm only one precious point. But let's
Hold up.
let's go. Yes,
Hold up.
Talk to
You
me.
can
Talk
see.
to me.
You can see. Yeah, this is why I'm gonna acknowledge and give you a little credit. You know what I mean? You did your thing this weekend. It was brilliant. But you have to look at that table there and look at all the flags on there, man. We are putting Africa on the map. You know what I mean? We're doing that. We're putting Africa on the map, but we're right up there on the table. You know what I mean? So, but shout out to you, Yao, man. You're doing your thing, man. But I'm looking to take over next week. I'm coming to kick you in the head. Yes.
And I told you, I'm gonna Khabib it, Boro. I'm gonna Khabib it. You are not gonna take me out. Not possible. And shout out to making the walk for holding up the bottom of the table. We really respect the work that you're doing down there.
Yeah, man. Basement Jacks. Look at y'all just throwing shades. You're throwing shade everywhere.
Cross is like you haven't mentioned his name in the song, but it's okay. And shout out Aussie. Oh, sorry, Ola. Aussie Fight fan for watching. Much appreciated. Everyone, as always, it's the end of the show. And until next time, you should. Okay, this is when we all
Kick him in the head.
Kick him in the head. There we go.